billahi minash shaitanir rajim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-azim. At the request of Sheikh Rashid, we will continue to share some words about the Hajj, because this is Hajj season. And as we mentioned earlier, there's an outer Hajj and an inner Hajj. The outer Hajj, we said, was going from this location or wherever you are and going to the Kaba in Mecca and doing the rites of the Hajj and the pilgrimage. It's the fifth pillar. And we also said that the inner Hajj was leaving your bad qualities and going to good qualities. And we know Allah says in the Holy Quran, call on Allah, call on the Ulullah or Ulul Rahman, or Yama Fahu Asmanul Husna. Call on Allah or call on the Rahman. And to Allah belongs the most beautiful names. So when you start to study the 99 names of Allah, you will see that these 99 names of Allah apply to your own qualities and characteristics. All of these 99 qualities exist inside of you in seed form on the plane of the soul. I will say that again. All of the 99 names of Allah exist inside of you in the seed form on the plane of the soul. When you go to Hajj and you see, there's got to be a picture in here. Yeah, you see this? That's the Kaba, the black cube. It's the Kaba. This is a very important thing to study. The Kaba. In ancient Egypt, they had something called the Ka and the Ba. In ancient Egypt, they had the Ka, which was your spirit, and they had the Ba, which was your individual soul. And in ancient Kemetic philosophy, it said when the Ka and the Ba became one, you had reached oneness with God, Allah. This is ancient philosophy. The Ka and the Ba of ancient Kemit was the spirit reuniting with the soul inside of your own self. And they called that God realization. So where do we find that in Islam? The Kaaba in Mecca is the same principles of the Ka and Ba inside of you. So in Arabic, we have the word nafs and ruh. It's the same as the Ka and Ba from ancient Kemit. So in Arabic, we have, everyone has heard the term nafs. Nafs meaning your individual self. That is called the soul. There's also an aspect of your being called the ruh. The ruh is the omnipresent spirit of God. Now we can ask everybody in the room, who can tell me what is the difference between your soul and your spirit? What's the difference between your Ka and your Ba? What's the difference between your nafs and your ruh? It's a very important question. The spirit lives on forever?
The nafs travels, the soul travels.
The nafs travels?
The nafs are the lower self and the higher self is the ruh. The higher and lower?
Close.
Soul itself.
That's very close. Because the nafs has a lower and higher self. The ruh doesn't have lower and higher. Anybody? Yes?
I just wanted to comment on the ruh, but the ruh is like the divine essence. It's like the encapsulation of like I don't know how to describe it,
Okay.
But in your spirit is like it's like if I don't know, one is more I don't know, I just
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, so what we have, the human being is composed of three components. The physical body, called jism in Arabic. The soul, called the nafs. And the spirit, called the ruh. Three components of every human being on planet Earth. My sheikh told me in West Africa that Allah exists beyond time and space on the spirit plane, meaning Allah is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Allah is all-powerful, all-knowing, and omnipresent everywhere at the same time. This is Allah existing in the spirit plane. The spirit is everywhere. When that spirit of Allah becomes encapsulated in the womb, in the fetus, that spirit is called the nafs. The individualization of the omnipresent spirit of God in the mother's womb is called the nafs, or the soul. And the Prophet Muhammad talks about this in the hadith. The Prophet Muhammad said that on the 120th day of conception, you know, when the baby is developing in the womb, on the 120th day, the angel brings your soul to the fetus. That is when that spark of light from the omnipresent spirit of God becomes individualized as a soul in the womb. So, the journey of the Sufi is to find out, how can I take my individualized soul and reunite it with the omnipresent spirit of God, so that you can have wusul in Arabic, union with the one that we came from. The whole journey, what happens at the time of conception is the soul actually thinks that it's dying, because inside the mother's womb there's a whole universe. So when the baby is born, the baby thinks that it's dying. And when you are actually dying, that is when you will be born again back to the plane of soul. But the question is, how can I, or how can you reunite your soul back with the omnipresent spirit of God before you drop this body? And all of that would take place inside of the Kaba. The Kaba of man is the heart. All of the Sufis have said the Kaba on the outside is in Mecca, but the Kaba of the human being is the heart. The Prophet Muhammad said, Allah has said in the Hadith Qudsi, I do not fit into the heavens or the earth, but I fit into the hearts of those who believe in me. So if the heart is the Baytullah, the house of Allah, and we call this Kaba in Mecca the Baytullah, the house of Allah, find out, what did the Prophet Muhammad use to purify the Kaba? Because when the Prophet Muhammad was there, they had 365 idols in Mecca. When the Prophet Muhammad came, the Meccans were so enriched in darkness, they had an idol for every day of the week. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So peep game. They had 365 idols in the Kaaba, and people from around the world who worship these different idols would come to Mecca to worship their idols at the Kaaba. So you got a man that come and say, there's only one God, and this community had 365? Do you think, and that place was a place of business and money? Mecca was making money from people coming to worship all those idols in the Kaaba. And Prophet Muhammad stood up and said, this was an act of war. When Prophet Muhammad came and said, La ilaha illallah, the people in Mecca was like, what'd you say? We got people coming from all over to worship these idols? Did you say there's only one Muhammad? No, please don't say that. They start persecuting them. So,
the whole society.
Yeah. So, Prophet Muhammad came with the kalima la ilaha illallah, there's no God but Allah. And he used that kalima la ilaha illallah to get rid of all of the idols out of the Kaaba in Mecca. Now, I just told you your heart is the Kaaba, but you have idols inside of you.
Yes. Yes.
Your job is an idol. your car becomes an idol. If you're in New York, your Timberlands become an idol. For me, my idol is my Zika beads. I gotta be honest. I damn near worship Zika beads.
Fashionable beads.
Yeah. So everybody got something that they put. One guy on the street told me, whatever you put all your time in, that's your God.
Absolutely.
I said, whoa. Whatever you give most of your time to becomes your God? And this was a street person. So you have to find out what is inside of your Kaba, of your heart, that's blocking the light of Allah from shining. The simple solution is La ilaha illallah. Whatever is inside of your Kaba that is blocking the light of your soul from shining and reuniting with your spirit can be removed by reciting La ilaha illallah. The Prophet Muhammad said, for everything there is a polish. And he said the polish of the heart is La ilaha illallah. So if the polish of the heart is La ilaha illallah and Prophet Muhammad on the outward side used La ilaha illallah to clean this Kaaba, then you might want to consider reciting La ilaha illallah more than 33 times to purify your heart. So, yes. Say La ilaha illallah more today than you did yesterday. Yes. Okay.
Alhamdulillah. That's why.